Hello, people. How's y'all doing today? Today I'm going to talk about something you probably didn't hear about. Maybe you did. If you did hear about it, then you know what I'm talking about. If you didn't hear about it, just listen to me and you probably get a gist of it if you're from another country or not from Ireland. Well, that's kind of the same thing. But anyway, fucking get on with it, as everybody says. So Mike D. Higgins is the president of Ireland. And he said when he ran for the first term, this is his second term coming up in November. And he said in the first time that he wasn't going to win again. And before that, there was a person called Mary McAleese, and he criticised her for trying to win again. Because she said she was only going to, she didn't even say she was going to win, but he's after contradicted himself and said that he wasn't going to win he wasn't going to win for a second term when he got elected. He was only going to do 7 years, and that's all he will do. And let me tell you, what has Michael D. Higgins done in them 7 years? What has he done? Got his bank balance a tiny bit. Got his bank balance up to about 3 million, maybe 6 million, depending on what money you look at. Maybe offshore accounts and all that. Because I wouldn't even trust him. That's the simplest thing. I wouldn't trust the president. I don't trust him. I even said to his face, if he came around and if the guards came and said, "Why are you talking to the president like this?" I say it's a democracy, and it's the freedom of speech, and I don't like him, so I have the right to say I don't like him. I don't like him. I wouldn't even give a cent to him. I wouldn't even give him a house if I was the president and there was a person like him that didn't care about his people, didn't care about people dying in the street, didn't care about this. I criticised him a few weeks ago about not bringing people into the hour as homeless people. And he said we must try and tackle this homeless crisis. He didn't say he was going to tackle it, because he has more money than anybody else in this country. He has more money than the state. He has more money than the charities that's helping the homeless and people that's volunteering to help the homeless people on the streets of Dublin, night in, day out, getting nothing, helping homeless people in the shelter, giving them medical supplies and all that to help them survive. And Michael D. Higgins is up in the hours, counting these lumps of money that he's taken off the poor people of Ireland. And I say he's a disgrace to this country, because if I was president, and I swear to God, if I ever do become president, if I ever go back on my word, may God have mercy on me. Because I would never forgive myself if I did go back on this word. I would literally take half the money, as simple as that, but I mean a tiny bit. I understand that he means a tiny bit, but Jesus fucking Christ. He has enough money. He used to be a teacher. He used to be a politician in the government. What age is he? I forget what age is he. Just to check. The minimum, I think the retirement age is, what age is retirement age? Retirement age is 66 in this country. So you have to retire in any public service. And guess what age he is? I just found out. 77. He's way over the age, and he's too old. And he hasn't done anything in the 7 years he ran for president. He hasn't done anything. What's he done? Got more bank salary, as I said. What else has he done? Homelessness has gone up. What else has he done? More hospitals have closed. What else has he done? The army have less recruits. What else has he done? He's let immigrants into this country non-stop and letting them get off with damn all. If they kill somebody, they get a pat on the back and well done. And if now you're supposed to kill somebody in self-defense, say somebody came into your barn, say somebody came into your house with a shotgun and taking your stuff, and you tried to defend yourself and you hit him a knock on the head, you get in more trouble than any other person. And I swear to God, I tell him here to his face that he's a disgrace, and he's the worst person I've ever seen. I'd rather live in North Korea, and as simple as that. Because North Korea, at least they care about the people. They care about themselves. Mikey D. Higgins cares about his salary. He cares about his salary. And let me remind you that his wife's getting loads of money. I have nothing against his wife. His wife is more better than him. I'd say his wife would be a lot more generous than he would be generous. It's just pure greed that he's running for another term. It's pure greed. He's not even said that he will. At least Donald Trump has the decency to say he will not take the money. He will not take the money for president. And Michael D. Higgins is like, sure, take it, sure. And nobody else is wants it anyway. People do want to miss the president. I wouldn't even call you a president. I'd call you a dictator. That's all you are. You're dictating about your money. That's all you're dictating about. You do not care about the people dying in the streets. You do not care about people dying in the hospital beds and the hospital trolleys. People lying on the streets, dying. Young children dying. Young women dying. Young mothers dying on the streets. People dying of because of the videos at the health service of trying to find cats and all that, and you're just sitting there with your money in the door, and not even, if I was present, I at least would acknowledge that there was something going on. At least if something big happened in the country, I'd be like, right, if somebody, he only cares about somebody when somebody big dies. Say somebody dies a horrible death. I remember those two boys that died drowned in the quarry, and they were only 12 and 13 years old. That was horrible. And he never said boo about it. He never said boo about it. And then as soon as somebody important died, he's all over them. That Cuban person, what they call Fidel Castro, when he died, he was all over it. He was all over the Cuban embassy trying to lick, I need more money, we need to get more deals going and all that. Trying to improve relations. Well, I say this, he's not worthless than a useless politician that has no respect for the people of Ireland that he serves under. If he wants to go to Cuba and stay in Cuba, he can stay in Cuba, but the money's not good for person over there. It's not good at all. No. He needs to stay in Ireland, yeah, because he has so much money he doesn't know what to do with it, and he won't give it to any charity at all. And the only thing I say to him, I know he heard me, I literally know. I say his advisors have literally said what I had to say. Because I said about the homeless thing, I nailed on him a few weeks ago about the homeless. He should take it into the hour. Then he says we should do more. We should do more. We, my friend. We, I wouldn't even call him my friend. He should do more. He has a bigger salary than me, than you, than anybody. He has more probably than Donald Trump. I bet you any money. Somewhere he has more money than Donald Trump. Simple as that. I bet you any money. Because he's just being an ignorant old cunt. And I don't care. You can send every guard, you can send every soldier, you can send everything. But the only thing you can't send is the freedom of speech. No matter what you do, president, or whatever you want to call yourself, money lender, biker, whatever you want to call yourself, you're more like the bikes that corrupted and broke this country in half. And that's what you are. You're one of them little cunts of bikers that are getting off with murder. That only got a few months in prison, in an open prison, while people that are struggling to pay their bills have been thrown into prison for little mindless things. And if some foreigner came in and killed somebody, he'd get a bloody medal. He'd be brought up and brought a medal. He'd be brought up to the hours and given a medal, and he'd be like pat in the back by Michael D. Higgins. Well done, you came to this country to kill somebody, well done. You get a house and everything. That's all they care about. They only care about showing off to the rest of the world. Now, Ireland didn't become great by showing off. Ireland stood up. The Irish people went to America, to every other country, and build themselves up. Build houses, build roads, build infrastructure. Build skyscrapers in New York, build bridges, build subway stations, build everything. And that's how Ireland got bigger and better and stronger, because the Irish people went over to America, made a name for themselves, and asked nothing in return. And in a different way, Michael D. Higgins is asking the foreigners to come in with nothing. For nothing. Literally, they're nothing in service of the country. Ireland, the Irish people went over to America to make a difference and to help the American economy. And really did. There were loads of wet to serve in the military and everything. In the war and everything. And building America, loads of tanks and guns and everything. And America takes great pride in its Irish heritage, which I really respect. Because the Irish people went over and fought and died for America. And for the rest of the world too. And no matter what country you look at, the Irish people went to their country to build it up and asked nothing in return, and just went over there, built everything, made a life for themselves in Australia, New Zealand, no matter where you go. And in Ireland, foreigners come here and the government asks nothing for them. Well, I say they should be asked, and the US Commander-in-Chief of the Army, you should know that the Army only has 9,000 active soldiers and 2,000 reserve soldiers. And Portugal has more than us. Portugal's only a small little country. No offense to people from Portugal, but you're only a small little country. Ireland is a bit more bigger than you, and we have a tiny bit. I don't think we have a bigger population, but Jesus Christ, you are the most. I'm going to end this now. I'm going to say what I think, and I'm going to say it, and I'm going to campaign against you, and I'm going to just annoy you until you literally can't fight anymore for your election. I'm going to ruin your election. That's all I say. I'm going to ruin it by using my political voice to humiliate you, to make sure that you won't be president again. You will not be our 10th president, and you will never be another president of this country. I say this, you're an ignorant, old bollocks that takes too much of his money and not of the people, on which you were voted in by the people. For God's sake, man, will you have some dignity for your citizens and for the people who voted you in and the people who are dying because of your government and because you are naive and little to do anything about it. Stand up and take control of your country instead of standing down and taking money instead. That's all I say, and that's all I will say.